Here live with Coach Lew at Accelerate Life University, your #1 source for self-education success. XLR8life.com. Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lew. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8life.com. Coach Lew will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lew. Here's Coach Lew.
Well, good morning, guys. Question is, was that planned or did you catch me off guard? So, truth be told, it was a last minute quick thought of how cool that would be to just open up the show with me just quietly enjoying a cup of coffee. Very fitting for the day. Because one of my fears has always been, since I've been doing the show, starting the show in the morning and not realizing the camera's on and, scratching your head, looking around, or, getting frustrated because you're checking on everything and making sure everything's ready to go. And all of a sudden realizing, oh, I'm live. Have you ever watched the news bloopers on YouTube or Rumble or any of those? Absolutely hysterical when they don't realize their camera's hot and they're doing something or talking about something. And you're watching them and they're like, fixing their hair. And all of a sudden they're like, we're on the air. So I figured I'd start you out with a little bit of fun this morning, guys, because we've been talking about this topic called fear. And the series has really evolved. It wasn't supposed to be called fear for the whole series. It was just supposed to be, how do you deal with fear? But I'm like, you know what? Tell fear where to F and go, okay? Because fear is a 4-letter F word, okay? And not a good one at that, okay? Remembering what we've talked about over the past few weeks, and yes, I'm in a little spunky mood this morning. I'm in a very good mood. Remember that fear is either false evidence that appears real or F everything and run, or it's face everything and rise. What is the difference there? Okay. One of them, it has you in fear, fight, flight, or fight mode. And the other one has you in step up and be who you are at your core and take it on and bring it on. You know what? I'm afraid of this, but I'm going to conquer it anyway. Which feels better? Or, come on, we got something to deal with here. Which feels better to you? Make the motion with me. Ready? Go, oh, I'm afraid. Or, I'm ready. We're going to do this. Okay? It doesn't mean that the courageous are not fearful. Doesn't mean that there's not some fear when when somebody's courageous and they step up and do something. What is it called? Courage is grace under pressure, but courage is fear with grace or something on that order, where it's you do it anyway. And then you break through it. And that's what next week's going to be about. And that is going to be a kick-butt show. You do not want to miss next week's show live, guys. As a matter of fact, I'd love some live guests or some live questions for that. So if you want to try out being a live guest on Breakthrough with Lew, reach out to me. If you've ever been fear panic-stricken, or you feel that fear is holding you back, we'll handle it real quick on next week's show if you want to be my live guest. All right, so what is fear, really? It's a warning sign that you need to pay attention to something. Okay, fear is not fake. Fear is not all in your head. Fear is there for a reason. Okay, God, your creator, however you term him, gave you this fear factor, this reptilian part of your brain that goes, I need to keep your body alive. I need to keep you present so that you don't fall off the cliff, get eaten by the bear, get mugged by the idiot on the street that's obviously a thug, and you're walking down the street and you go, oh, I'm just going to be kind and think that nothing's going to happen. No, you very well may have to defend yourself, run away, or freeze and hide for a minute. But the fact is, not everybody's going to kumbaya with you on the corner, okay? So you might, okay, there's a thug or a gang of thugs hanging around, and it's the middle of the night, and you're the only person on the street that's probably not a criminal because your car just broke down. Your fear is going to ring a little bell that's going to say, pay attention, folks. That's the idea, okay? And we've talked about the 3 responses to fear: fight, flight, or freeze. There's a time to fight. There's a time where you're better off running the heck away, and there's a time for freezing, okay? You come across a bear in the woods and you go, ah, and he doesn't notice you and goes on about his day, y'all good, okay? You get on that street where, all of a sudden you run into a gang that, they're looking like, I'm coming to get you. I want your purse, your wallet. It might be a time to run. Then there might be a time somebody grabs your child and they're trying to kidnap them. You better not run away. You better not freeze. You better be ready to fight. Okay? Some things are worth fighting for. Your children are one of them. Your children, your family, your friends, your any innocent person. But there's also a time where you go, okay, I can get into it with this person and might get shot, stabbed, etc. I can just get the hell out of here and I'm okay because it's just me. But this person's grabbing onto my child and trying to kidnap my child, and he's got a knife or a gun. I don't care. I'm still going to fight to the death to save my child. Okay? You see the difference. All right, a lot of this right now, we're just kind of reviewing the past few weeks. So we all know that fear is good when there's a real threat, but it's bad when the perceived threat is not real and it feels real, that false evidence that appears real, and it holds you back. Or it makes you freeze. Or it makes you want to fight with everyone. Have you ever come across somebody who's just looking for a fight? And you're like, what in the hell is wrong with that guy or that gal? Well, you know what? They're afraid they won't be liked. They're afraid of this, afraid of that. Okay? These are real things that happen in life, but it's this 3-sided thing called fear that creates most of the problems. We were talking the other night about how people say, oh, rich people are idiots or asses or greedy or this or that. I was like, well, that's not true. In this world, do you find that successful people are more criminals and do harmful things to people, etc.? Now, it doesn't mean somebody who's very successful and very wealthy doesn't do anything wrong. No, I find in the reality that it is lack that creates more problems. Lack creates theft because people feel like they can't make it if they don't take it away from someone else. It creates anger. It creates alcoholism. It creates drug use. Well, I live in the hood and I'm never getting out of here. At least when I'm high, I feel good. Okay, do you see the paradox to it? And then it only makes it worse. But do you understand that lack never, ever, ever is a great place to operate from? Okay, and it doesn't mean always money. Sometimes it's emotional lack. If you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. Does that make sense? Okay, so fear holds you back, and that's today's topic. How does this fear actually hold you back? What does it do to you? Okay, well, one of them is paralysis, that freeze mode. Now, this might not be in this extreme fear of every day, okay? So what I'm talking about here is that, not really making the money I should at work, and I'm really doing good, but, I got to get in there and talk to the boss, or I got to present this idea. I need a raise. I need to make more money. I need an opportunity. I need a promotion. But you're paralyzed by fear of, oh my God, if I ask for this, the boss is going to fire me. Okay? Then you're not that valuable in the first place if they're going to fire you because you ask for more money because you're bringing something great to the table. But the fear paralyzes you so you don't do it, or you procrastinate. Oh God, I don't want to file the taxes. That's going to cost me money. So you procrastinate and it costs you more money in the long run. Okay, how many times have you put something off, or I don't want to go to the doctor's visit because what if they tell me something's wrong? Not a fun thing, guys, let me tell you. But don't get to the point where you bend over in pain or something before you go to check something out, and then you get in that situation, then you're really scared because it's like, oh my God, am I dying? Then you get something, you get a test comes back and says, well, this is going on, and you go, oh wow, I'm grateful for I have a problem. Wow. No, but seriously, I'm grateful I'm not dying is usually what people say in that they procrastinate so long, and sometimes they procrastinate so long that they do exceed their expiration because it is something they could have taken care of up front. Now, I'm not getting on top of the buildings and screaming the joys of Western medicine here. What I am screaming the joys of, and hear this real loud and clear, is get your testing done. Monitor your body's health. Okay, just because you feel good doesn't mean you're healthy. Just because you don't feel great doesn't mean you're sick. But get out, don't wait on that, and don't fear. The longer you wait for stuff, the bigger the fear gets. And then a lot of times a door closes. You're like, I'm going to ask for a raise. I'm going to ask for a raise. Things are going good. We're really busy. We're working extra hard. And you go, I'm going to wait till next week. And all of a sudden business slows down and the boss has a real good excuse to say, hey, stuff's slow, man. You ain't working that hard. Well, it was last week. They don't care. Procrastination is pro nothing. All right, perfectionism is another way that fear holds you back. What you talking about here, Coach? Hey, come on. Trying to get my focus back in focus here. So what would I be talking about on that one? How could perfectionism help you or hurt you? Let's mess with the lighting here, guys. I don't know what. Come on. There we go. I don't like looking blurry. So perfectionism, how can that be a byproduct of fear? Well, when I get perfect at this, or I finish my education, I will start working on my future. Life Boost Coffee, baby. I'll leave you the links for it. It's the best. That will kill you the quickest in whatever you're doing. I gotta be perfect. What do you think Breakthrough with Lew would be on each and every week, and about to expand into even better stuff and bigger stuff, if I hadn't started out at 5 a.m. driving in to teach boot camp and started doing some random lives in the morning and talking, and then an idea was born. But I didn't get on and share and teach and give you tools and all that. I got on and bitched about being up at 5 in the morning. Not really. I tried to bring some positivity to it and share some positive emotions to being up and on the road that early and so forth. But really the thought of it was I really good at catching your attention? Was I good at teaching you? Hopefully I'm a lot better now than I was then. If I'm not, please tell me, because then I'll be really have to up my game. But see, the thing is if I waited till I was perfect on camera, had the perfect camera equipment, the perfect studio, holy crap. Now I got to tell you, I have the perfect setup of equipment. I had the perfect setup of studio. Lex was down yesterday, and she's sitting at my desk, and she's going, Daddy, this is what I need. And I'm like, well, Daddy got you some equipment for Christmas last year to get her podcast going. And she's like, I need all this. And I said, how about we build it piece by piece? Daddy didn't start out here. Daddy didn't start out with these cool tools and this work area that looks like a spaceship. Okay? And it's pretty cool. I love it now. But I didn't start out perfect. If I waited till I was perfect, I wouldn't be here with you. Okay? Hit this deep in your heart, guys. This is not a brag on me session or anything like that. But if I waited till I was perfect, and I know I'm not perfect yet, I'm still growing. But the reality of it is I started with an iPhone, sitting in a van, driving to work in the morning, and that's where Breakthrough with Lew was born. Wow. But it wasn't perfect. Don't wait for perfectionism. That's where fear really can get you. How about the negative self-talk? I don't have what others have. I don't look like others do. I'm not lean and in shape like he is or she is. Hey, guess what? There's people I'm not in as good a shape of. And then there's people that I'm in way better shape than. There's people that look up to me, and then there's people that would go, Lew, you're slipping a little bit. Okay, but I'm not going to get that negative self-talk going. Am I in the best shape of my life right now? Not the best. Am I in great shape for my age? Yes. But there's another level. But I could sit there and talk myself down and go, oh, you let yourself go a little, or you're not as strong as you used to be, or you're this, or you're aging. Okay, we could pull that card. But why? Instead of that, I go, what can I do better? What can I build more? What can I, rebuild back? Get stronger, get faster, get more energy, get more vibrant. Instead of going, well, it starts to happen. Whenever somebody tells you, well, run, okay? Because they're not going to give you good advice. Well, they're going to slice and dice you with a smile on their face, and they're going to take you down and get you negative talking. Don't listen to the well-you-knowers, okay? Just trust me on that one. All right, how about avoidance? Just plain out avoiding something. You're like, wait a minute, that's procrastination. No. This is worse. This is avoiding getting in situations that you need to go to their next level. Okay? If you're single and you avoid being invited to your friend's house when they have other friends coming over that you might meet somebody cool, you might say, well, they all drink and I don't. Okay, we got two options. You don't drink, you don't have to change yourself, and you might find that somebody else shows up there that also doesn't really like to drink or doesn't drink much, but likes to have friends, and you meet, and that's great. Or going to an event or something like that, or going to races or whatever environment that you love, but you avoid going because I'm not really ready to meet someone. Okay, that's in the case of if you're single. What about avoiding going to a seminar that could put you around other people in your industry or around people in an industry that you can serve, but you're scared because you don't like those big groups or those noisy rah-rah sessions. See, you're avoiding something that's stopping you. You're letting your fear do that. Doubt. Oh my God, doubt is huge from fear. Well, I don't know if I can get through that. Okay, what if my first race in frickin' for Spartan? What if I had said, oh my God, I doubt I can get through that. It was a toughie. It was a toughie. It was in Malibu, very terrainy, 40-something degree weather, raining, mud to your waist in some places, lakes you had to swim through. It was hell, but if I went in there and doubted I was going to make it through or doubted I could actually do it, I would never done that race. And how many followed that? Okay. What about regret? Okay. How much regret are you going to have if you let fear stop you all the time? Okay. Fear has a negative impact on your physical and your mental health too. There is no doubt about that. This might be the biggest thing you take away this morning, is the physical health from the stress of being fearful all the time will eat your body, your health, your organs, your mind up. Okay. And again, it doesn't mean you never have fear. Fear has its place. It's the unfounded fear that really holds you back. Okay, the fear of the fact that a lion's chasing you, you should be afraid. You should do something about that. Somebody's trying to grab your child, you don't go, oh, they'll bring him back. No, react to that fear. Go, save your kid. Okay, the fear of skydiving. Okay, I skydove years ago. And the thing was, I was less afraid of going skydiving than looking like a chicken in front of my friends. So that got me to do something amazing. All right, so got a little story for you to kind of tie this all together. 2004, I knew this guy. Okay, 2004, he was starting to do pretty good. Had a baby, built a house, was past a lot of the pitfalls. Didn't have it easy as a kid. Didn't have it easy coming up. No free ride education, any education he paid for himself. 2004 comes along. A buddy of his gave him some Tony Robbins tapes. Okay. And he started listening to them. Wasn't a complete set, but it was personal power. And he's listening to him and he's getting pumped up. And he's, oh my God, Tony Robbins has live events. So he calls up and he talks to his event manager guy, and he's like, oh, we have one in Orlando you can go to. Well, my buddy's like, I hear these are pretty crazy, and I really want some change. I really got to change something in myself, but I don't want to do it around people I know. I'm kind of shy. I'm afraid somebody might think I'm a little crazy, or that fear's gonna make me doubt it or avoid participating. So I'm gonna go to this one in Chicago. I don't know. He don't know anyone in Chicago. Okay, so my buddy gets to Chicago, commits to this thing, gets the money together, flies up there. Quick little story before that. Right before the event, he gets into Chicago. He wants some sushi. Says to the front desk at the hotel, what's the best sushi around here? Sushi San Barrio. So he'd been flying all day. He's in a white t-shirt and blue jeans, and it's fall, so it's kind of chilly in Chicago. They call him a car and take him, pull up to the sushi bar. There's a doorman, get you out of the car, escort you in. And he's like, oh, shit. I'm not dressed for this place. This is highly eclectic. And the girl who, seats him goes, you want to sit at the sushi bar? Might be more comfortable for you, because everybody's decked out to the hilt. This place is like freaking primo. Okay, he's telling me about this story. So sits down. Turns out has the best sushi meal in the world, because the sushi chef that's at the sushi bar is one of the master sushi chefs. And a master sushi chef, what makes them different is there's only like 14 in the world. They're the only ones that can prepare sushi for the emperor. Okay, so he's like, shit, I did. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and be afraid somebody's going to judge me because of the way I look. Screw it. I'm here to eat some sushi, and for the money I'm paying, I don't care what I look like, because it was expensive. He told me it was expensive. Okay, but it was the best damn sushi in the world. Walks out of there feeling pretty good. Goes to the event venue the next day. Walks in and it's like, oh my God, who are all these people with all this energy? What did I get himself into? Okay. And one of the reps comes up and says, hey, let me get you registered in. said, frankly, you look like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, yeah. I mean, he's like, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, this is wow. Yeah, I'm a young guy, and this is a lot to take in. Okay, so goes in. And a long story short, this most phenomenal event in the world, life-changing. He was also making some health changes and physical changes, which locked in at this, which created a whole different story. I think you might have heard in Heals, or if you've taken my course, Heals. If you haven't, take it. It's amazing. I use this guy as an example in there. And so during the event, real fast, there's this next thing called Life Mastery, which is this 3-part, picks right up where the Unleash the Power weekend picks up. And he goes through that, and he's at one of the events called Life Mastery. And one of the people on leadership picks up on something in this guy. Says, I want you in the leadership program. Let's go talk. His leadership program's $12,000, and he's still doing much better than he was doing, but still in that growth, all right, he has to figure out a way to pay for this. So he does. So the thing is this guy went from deer in the headlights to leadership program to a coach and a podcaster and a businessman and an auctioneer. And well, he always was an auctioneer. Okay. Guess what, guys? You know who my buddy is? It's me. Okay. That's the story of what switched it all up for me. It was a weekend that made a difference, that turned fear into a challenge, turned fear into growth, turned fear into a way to help others. Okay. And very emotional when I look back on that. And I didn't want to tell you, hey, let me tell you my story about how this impacted me. I wanted to give you it kind of from the outside view, because sometimes it helps me to look at it from the outside view. So it was a really unique journey, and here we are today. Breakthrough with Lew, Accelerate Life University. Our auction business is doing well too. It's an amazing transformation from a guy who, when he got that set of Tony Robbins tapes, it wasn't complete. Thanks, JD, by the way, back in the day for doing that. Very dear friends that live up in Alabama now, but they were the ones that, when I wasn't in a great place of life and really struggling, gave me not a handout, but gave me something that made me break through that fear. That was a blessing. That little handbag full of tapes, and it was cassette tapes that they brought me, really turned something around. Because I broke through fear. Fear wasn't enough. My old belief was I had to work twice as hard as everybody else for half the reward. How miserable do you think I felt? I always feared I would never be compensated for what I do, never be recognized. And it's not about being recognized and compensated. It was about stopping the fear. Okay? I got a tool I want to share with you today, and then I'm going to cut you free soon this morning. Or this afternoon if you happen to be listening to a replay. Don't forget, you can always get the audio replays on the go. Just go to listen, the number 2, Lew, LEW.com. That'll take you right over to my Spotify channel. So listentolow.com. So the tool I'm going to leave you with this morning to do this is ask what will come from me conquering this fear. Not just facing it, but conquering it. When you bust through the fear, what's going to come of that? That's your tool. Oh my God. Well, one more quick story. This might firm it up. Let's rewind to that Unleash the Power weekend with Tony Robbins. Okay. So I didn't always know what it was about. You think you're going to a seminar, a guy's going to talk, you're going to take lots of notes and that. First night, we're jumping up and down. It's like a rock concert, learning some cool stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. It starts to ramp up and the drums are going. He's like, okay, everybody take their shoes off. I'm like, what the hell? Line up. We're going out. We're going to do it. Do what? Fire walk. Oh, shit. Really? Okay, I kind of heard something about that, but I didn't think they really do it. Next thing you know, we're all marching across lanes of fire. Okay, real fire. I've worked those, I've gone back and worked, crew and stuff and leadership, and it's real. It's real fire. It's not newspaper made to look like fire. It's not lights under something. You're not walking on top of 5-inch heat-proof glass over the coals. You're walking over the coals, baby. But the whole premise for that was, and this is what really where this is born out of, was you get to that point and you get in that state and you walk across damn fire and you live and your legs don't get burned to bloody little stumps. And as a matter of fact, I didn't get burned the first time I did it at all. Not then. Second time I got one little scorch. There's just a whole story behind that, but I'm not going to tell you this morning. I'll tell you that next week. Remind me. So what happens was you leave behind all this fear. You hit the other side in this state it's like, if I just walked across fire, I can no longer be afraid to go talk to my boss about a raise. I can no longer be afraid to talk to my wife or your spouse or your husband, depending on whether you're a guy or girl, about what's going on in your marriage. I'm no longer afraid to take my business to the next level or, frankly, start a business. If I can walk on fire, I can work a couple extra hours a day on starting a business. If I can walk on fire, I can raise a child. Hey, parenthood's scary. All right? Especially for the women, I tell you. You actually have to have the baby? Okay. It's hard enough being a dad in the beginning and, trying to figure out how you do this. But your woman's got to have the baby, okay? So, men, we do have it easy there. As much fear as you have of becoming a dad, if you're about to be a new dad or you're considering it, just remember that baby's got to come out the woman. It's just saying, okay? That gives you a whole new respect for women, because let me tell you something. If it was for us guys and that had to happen, there'd be no more population, okay? We might jump out of airplanes, run across mud, jump over fire, everything else. Have a baby? Oh, hell no. Not logistics of that. Oh, hell no. Okay, no, being funny with this, guys, but seriously, okay? Ask yourself, what's going to come from conquering this fear? Conquering the fear of walking across fire lit a fire emotionally in that guy I know. Oh, I mean me. That's right. We've already admitted it was my story. Okay? What's your story? What's your story why you don't have what you want? Ooh. You don't like that, do you? It makes you squirm in your seat or wherever you are. What's your story why you don't have what you want? Well, I'm afraid that I'll lose everything and, I got a family to feed. If I quit my job and start a business, what if I lose everything? Okay, people have done it. More people have probably succeeded, but people have done it. You know what? You start over, okay? There's always a reset button at some point in life. And you're like, no, coach, I'm too far in. Too far into what? Too far into debt. Okay, well, worst case is, and I'm not a real proponent of bankruptcy, but if you're really that underwater and it's not your fault and it's not just stupid spending and something happens and your income changed or you had a health challenge or, your business got put out by government regulations or COVID, we don't even want to go down that street, how much damage our own country did to ourselves and how much they destroyed small business. But hey, it's another discussion for another day. A lot of people, COVID took everything away. Now I'm just, regular. I don't have a business no more. I just got to work. I'm struggling. Hey, step back up. I get it. 2008 took the legs out from under my table. I was in the real estate market. I was pretty invested in real estate. That was my thing. It was going to be my retirement. It was going to, it was good. It was good till it was gone. Overnight. But what did I do? Did I sit back and say, I'm done? I'll just go work at Walmart? No, and no. Did it make for a few tough years? Yes, yes, and yes. Did it make me appreciate things more? Yes, yes, and yes. So my point is, what will come from you conquering this fear? You afraid to quit your job and do your business? What about when you do? Well, it was tough for a year or two, but man, our life is amazing now. Or would you rather go, well, that was a dream I wish I had done, but it was 2 years ago and it's kind of too late to do it now. And now the economy's bad, so I'll wait till the economy. What? You could be dead. DEAD. You could be dead before the economy comes back. And you know what the greatest time in the world to jump in and do something is when there's a tough economy when it comes to business and investing, because people are eager to get out of stuff. People are eager to, you can get cut rate bargains. Okay, this is an exciting time to live in, believe it or not. We need some change. There's no doubt about that. We are not headed in the right direction as a country. We're dividing our people. We're not liking each other because of color, because of religion, because of this, that, or political beliefs. We're dividing our own nation. We're allowing that to happen. That's stupid. Okay, just saying. You got to band back together and defend everybody's right to free speech, everybody's right to free belief. Okay, that means everybody. And it doesn't, I'm not going to tell you I'm always going, oh, kumbaya, everybody's equal, and I totally believe in the same thing that person does because you can't have a difference of opinion. No, bullshit. There's stuff that I absolutely deplore that I still support somebody's right to support or be a part of or believe in, etc., because that is their right in the United States of America. But what I'm saying is right now is a great time. If you can unify a community around your business, if you can start to look at human beings as human beings and not be fooled by a media to believe that this person's your enemy because of some totally unfounded reason. Now, if somebody's an absolute asswipe or somebody's nasty or they're a downright criminal or they're hurting you or then you react accordingly. But just because somebody's walking down the street and looks or talks or wears different clothes than you or goes to a different house of worship than you doesn't mean you're their enemy or they're your enemy. Now, are there enemies amongst us? Yes. Our borders have been wide open. We have terrorists roaming our country. We have people that are not documented to be here. And I am not against people coming to our country. All our relatives did. Come in the right way. That's as political as I'm going to get this morning. Come in the right way. Okay? I know people in other countries that have tried for years to do it legitimately. I know a person that made one mistake on their paperwork and they were here from England. One thing they filled out wrong and they got deported and told they can't come back for like 15 years. Just a paperwork error. But you can sneak over and do stuff. No. That's not right. But what I'm saying is even the people that are trying to come here, I get it. They're getting away from governments that are horrible. I understand that. I understand people want to come for the American dream, but come in the right way. But my point of it is that even that person that's trying to get here and so desperately fleeing a horrendous life, they're afraid. They're in fear too. Maybe they're fearing their lives where they're at because they can't believe in their religion where they live or somebody will kill them. Okay? That's not cool. You want to overcome that fear by going for a better life. I agree. So my point is don't let the media put you in a frenzy that stops you from overcoming your fears. That's my whole point to that. I'm giving you lots of examples and really try not to shove opinion on you. Rather than my opinion is we all need to band together and make our world better. How do you do that? By breaking through fear. Not fearing your neighbor down the street because you don't know them. Get to know them. And if they're a shitbag, excuse my language, then don't associate with them. Very few people are really horrible people. Even the crabby people. Sometimes in our business, our other business, our auction business, we deal with some crabby people, and then you come to find out they have a really sick spouse at home, or they have a child that's sick or ill or has extreme needs, or they've been through a hardship, and all of a sudden they're really not bad people, your heart kind of goes out to them because you go, gosh, they're going through a lot. That's what I want to encourage you to do, guys. Stop going from a basis of fear when it comes to how you operate, but also stop fearing each other in this world until you get to know someone. Now, if someone's a badass criminal and you know they're going to try to kill you and rob you so they can go buy their drugs, you don't befriend them and allow them the opportunity to come in your home and case it out and steal your stuff. Okay, you use your common sense. I'm not kumbaya-ing you here. But I'm just saying, what will come? The tool of today is what will come when you conquer this fear that's holding you back. What's the next? And you might go, I want to know, Coach. I'm really excited, but I'm really not sure. That's why you're going to tune in next week. Next week's show is going to be how you break through the fear, how you break through the myths of some of the things that you were taught as a child, breaking through some of the myths that you have created in your own mentality, and break through a lot of the myths that are fed to you through mainstream media. And I'm not saying everything you see on the media is a myth or designed to put fear in you. 90% of it is. You see when hurricanes are coming, it's all the hype and the fear, and then the hurricane comes and it's like, oh, didn't even hit us. And once in a while we go, oh crap, it hit us and it was pretty rough. Oh, well, I'm still alive to say that. My house is still standing. I might have a couple water spots on my ceiling. I might have had a broken window. I might have a tree came down. But you're still alive. But by the time the media was done with you before that storm hit, you thought you were dead. You thought the whole state was going to be underwater. You thought this was the storm of the century. This is it. God sent his wrath. Florida's gone. No, it's not gone. It's still here. That's my point. You look at these things and you dissect them and go, what is the truth here? Truth was, we had a hurricane. Truth is, we had some damage. Truth is, we're still alive. We're still standing. And we're past it. You no longer fear that hurricane like you did the day before when it was, the play-by-play. It moved 2 inches. It moved here. It could hit here, or look at this spaghetti bowl, but it's going to hit you for sure. You see my point? That we do that to ourselves. Oh, you don't want to have to hear that part, do you? We do this to ourselves when we start fearing something. Well, if I go talk to the boss, this, or this could happen, and it could ruin everything, and I could get demoted, and I could be working in the basement in the mailroom. Probably not. Not if you're really great at what you do, if you bring a lot to the table. Stop letting the fear rule over you guys. Read over this again, watch this again, and be ready for next week's show because it's going to absolutely rock. Now, the other thing I want to do before we close out this morning, this is important. Do you like what we're doing here? If you like what we're doing, I need your feedback. I need you to share. But I also want to invite you, right now I have some seats open in our first meeting, our October live meeting. Similar to this, we do trainings and talk, but you get to actually participate and be on live. I want to invite you as my guest for the October meeting. So use that link to sign up. No cost, no charge. You don't have to join the CLIC, C-L-I-C, Coach Lew Inner Circle. I like to play on that stuff. You don't have to join to be a part of it. I would love you to join. It's like a no-brainer when you see what it actually costs, because it don't cost much to be a part of it. But I want to invite you to come check it out. That is the link there, guys. Join me for a free click this month and check out what we do. If you like the show, you're going to love this. If you love the show, you're going to be in absolute heaven. Guys, live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. This is Coach Lew signing off. Have an amazing day.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lew himself. As Coach Lew always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dreams.